mobile phones in our various secondary school. This has been a serious saga. From my experience in teaching, I could recollect vividly. There was a particular day I was taking my class, and I discovered that 3 sets of students, they are not concentrating. I was asking questions, they are not paying attention. And like my usual way of doing things, I intentionally step out of the class. A normal class supposed to have 2 exits. Yes. You had the front door, you had the rear door. I assisted from the front door. I tiptoed. I didn't take the back door. I went to the other side of the building. Those students, they are sitting closer to the window. So I now peep in. Unaware. Students that I was teaching, they are watching adult movie. As they are watching adult movie, one was playing with another private part of another person.
In secondary school? In
secondary school. Even in secondary school, let me just use name to cover, because all the students, they are out of secondary school now.
Okay.
They are out of secondary school now. In secondary school, not far away from this station. Touching another student private part. Why the class was so? Because they are watching film, adult movie. And okay, I snatched the phone from the window. They wanted to react, and this already they know they are already in problem. So I entered. So
that's your nickname.
Yeah, I entered the class back, and I handed over phone back to them. Take your phone. They know my policy. Take your phone. I moved back to the front of the class. Throw your phone to me, how we hold it. I'm the keeper. I know the meaning. My own is instant judgment. I don't seize phone. My student will be listening to my voice now. All those my past students. I don't confiscate material from students. Throw your phone to me. Let me keep it for you. Daddy, please. I said, let me also watch what you are watching. And immediately you threw the phone, I move with my body. Because that is my intention. The phone landed on the floor and got scattered. I said, come and pick the piece of your phone. Because this phone might issue, if you review the chaos and the crisis that has started, especially when we have come into democracy period. I'm talking of from 1999 there was no phone. Let's say from 2005 to date, parents have beat the teacher to pulp because of phone.
So who is at fault?
I'm coming to a place. I have done some research. Most of my students that have passed through me, even to university level, they have very high grade results. They never useful. I can mention this guy on here. He's one of my good boy. Tony Adekunle. He graduated from OBMS, went to University of Ibadan, medicine and surgery. The parents have access to phone. They never make use of phone. I have many of them that have all my high-flying students. They never have access to phone. If at worst they have come for training, the parents need to communicate with them. By chance, maybe all this small phone, they call Tonosobe. They don't have access to phone. But now, GS1 student is making use of phone, Android phone. If it was the senior one, the senior one, SS1 to SS3, they have a phone that even the school principal does not have. Are you getting it? So it's a non-legal worker. But the issue is that as the honorable has made this law, they should empower teachers, the school managers, to implement. They should rise up and stand with teachers. If any teacher try, there are a lot of assaults. You can recollect the issue. There's a school closer to Jokodo, if you could recollect the story, where the immigration officer need to go to the school and begin to fire. Because of phone. There was another issue around that territory, where the students go back to the school, mobilize people with machete. Because of phone, the teacher collected phone from them. So the government, as they have made this law, they should bring power to the schools
to implement
and to enforce. The Parent Teacher Association should come up also to implement, to support. If there's any erring parents, let there be community discipline.
What about you, Mr. Tijani Oladimeji? What's your take on the ban of the use of mobile phones by secondary school students?
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate contribution of Doctor. That's the reality. That's true life experience of what is really happening. And kudos to Oyo State House of Assembly. You know, I want to appreciate them for this wonderful job they are doing, honestly. And there are a lot of other jobs they are doing, but this one come to open because it's a matter for discourse.
Exactly.
Now, in my home, I bargain with my son going to university. And while in SS1, said, Daddy, I need phone now, at least to do some assignment. I want to browse. And you have free access to my phone. You can make use of my phone. Even if you want to play a game, play it on it. I want to just know what you are doing on it. That's all. Now, when he got to SS2, the pressure was much. Even the mother said, most of his friends now, this and that. I said, okay, you can buy for him. But the one I'm going to buy will be after he might have passed UTME. Get admission into 100 level. And I observe the first semester results. I know first semester results will be all sorts of what you learned in secondary school, SS2, SS3 work. That's why most technology-based universities, they are, instead of taking 4 years course, they make it 5 years course because the prerequisite will prepare you for the first year. So I said after the first semester, you're going to get the phone. And when he was going, I followed him to school. And I said, well, I'm not going to give this boy this. I found him a mentor. And that person said, don't worry, sir, we'll manage him. I said, did you promise me that? The person I handed him over to was studying nutrition and dietetics. I know you will know the value of time. So, on your recommendation, I'm giving him one. You know what happened? The first semester. So most time, late in the night, if I miss some calls or messages, I try before I sleep around 10:30, 11, I'll check, reply. So I always see my boy online. So I call, I chatted him. My boy, are you reading the time I saw you online, or was it mistake that you're... So he decided on another line. So when he came home, I told the mother, this boy will struggle in this first semester because he's too heavy on phone. That's what I saw. I said, no, it's not a matter of prayer. It's a fact. He is too heavy on phone. That's the reality. And I can tell you what the result will be. You know, at least by the time you hit 1.5 GPA, CGPA, they may not send you away. They will believe you still can make it, even if it is pass. But the clever student will be targeting first class. I said, well, If it's above 1.2, maybe 2.0 or something, struggling to get to second class lower. But if you don't change, you have lost first class level. Forget about it. That's the way it goes. You know what? My boy might not be too happy that my dad is on the air and he's saying this, but I want the larger classroom to learn. So my boy finished with 2.25 CGPA.
On the level?
Yes, first semester. And then, you know, you have to calculate semester by semester. So when he came back home, I said, where is your result? He said, they have not completed it. He has forgotten. I'm a school proprietor. I've helped others process admission too. And I was monitoring their progress in school. I said, really? He said, okay. So where are they going to? So when he was ready to resume for the second semester, I said, my boy, your CGPA was 2.25. Not too good enough to get you to second class, lower division. Is that true? He was unfunded. I said, that's the secret. I've been there. These phones are distracting. While I was in school, I got distracted. You know what? It was fish pie and donuts. You know, while I was in primary school, I'll be eating under the locker. And there's this one, Mrs. Osutogo, wonderful teacher like that. So he will come and say, me, bring your paper. You know, I have soiled my hand with oils.
It's fish pie.
So I will be afraid to take my book to him. So he will beat me. At first, I hated that woman so much. So sometimes I will not take my work to her. And after finishing everyone's paper, I will now say, Semiu, I said, this woman is a witch. There are so many in the class. How did she get to know that I'm not submitted? You know, I got distracted by what I heard. But she corrected that. So another thing she corrected from me was, I got a friend who has a very good handwriting. So I like to copy his own work. That's another distraction. So the one I got correctly, when I take it, I've cancelled that. But the one with good handwriting, but that did not get the math, I will present. So she will not ask, how do you get this one? I'm able to explain the way I got my own. I was able to find the SCMO. But the other one, I won't be able to explain. So that one, she corrected me to glory. So kudos to Mrs. Osuto, wherever she is today. Now, what I'm now saying is that before phone, there were other things that's been attracting people, distracting people. It might be film that you also watched, you begin to remember in the class. But these are the things that teachers, a trained teacher will be abreast of and try to, you know. This the legislators have done. So, like I said at the beginning of the speech, you create and you solve one problem to create another. They have created another one which must be followed up, which they must follow up. One, it's good to say that at the floor and pass it into law. The modalities for implementation has to be determined. You know, there are some schools that is meant for the rich. Anything goes. You know, this your head do that's wonderful is welcome in that school. But in public school and some other average school, it has to be sukuu with cough, sukuu without cough. They tell them. So already these ones, they are at liberty to bring not just phone, iPhone, the latest in town to school. If you ask those kids not to bring it to school, they tell their parents, you know, our kids are the one ruling the house. When they tell you they don't like a school, you have to change it. And school will prefer to sack a teacher, I'm talking about private school, than to lose a student. You understand? So what are they going? They don't just have to sit down and ban like that. There should be consultations on how to implement the ban. They are not the only one. Even in US, do you know President Trump canceled Department of Education? to enable federal government to focus on other things, leaving it in the hand of the states. Is a well thought of plan. Already states have been doing wonderfully well in that area, so he believes they can be strengthened. So there should be collaboration with the parents, the teachers, because we are always at the receiving end. If you connect a phone, like doctor did the other time, my heart was beating faster. I was, expecting that whether the actions from the student or the parent can come to school and slap you.
Exactly.
They know the alcohol. Yeah.
You know what? Now you are just lucky. You telling us your experience now, and you get away with it, and it's fantastic. Is to discourage them.
Yes.
Some schools you can't. If you teach in some schools, it's a taboo. You cannot do that for them, because the students in the class already, you see their faces, where you are not a courtist now, and they are one. They don't have anything to lose if you send them away from their school.
That's another issue.
That's another thing. So that's why I want to implore them to still please do more. I salute them for that wonderful insight into it. Even some states in US, Louisiana and some other ones, they introduce it that that's just bad, because it takes their attention away from the learning, and learning this AI coding and some other things. These are the future, because with this AI you will be able to manage the world better. So if you have creams of students that is not able to acquire that skill and knowledge, it means they will not be able to manage the future. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. Okay.
So enforcing this ban of school and phones on schools, and even both public school and private school.
Yeah.
We have parenting. I'm going to come in with the issue of parenting, because we have parents that will say they want to reach their children in school in the case of emergencies and all. So what do you think is the role of parents in this issue over the ban of this phone? Because I've witnessed one like that saying, and I couldn't reach your teachers, they weren't picking my calls. Then you guys said my son should not bring his phones to school. So how do you want me to reach the child? So I was not telling the parent that, how do you expect your child to pick calls in school?
Okay.
So what do you think is the role of parents?
Thank you very much.
So
That's
that they listen outside.
Okay, that's a very simple one. Now, schools now, we keep telephone directory. We keep lists of parents with their phone numbers. You understand? Now, there is no way a serious-minded parent that is not giving excuse will not be able to reach school in this age. Class teacher of your kid is right there. It's important you have the contact. The school proprietor or proprietress, in fact, as a proprietor of the school, do you know what? Each time when I wake up in the morning, I say, thank God, nobody called to say we are looking for a so kid or so thing happen. She fought so person. So yesterday I was gone like that. You understand? So the school proprietor will always be all ears to receive calls from parents. Not please help me release Ade. You want to help me buy tomato in the market. During the school, those ones are not excuses. But if you have vital information, read the class teacher, read the proprietor, the principal is there, and most schools keep a specific line for schools that you really can call. There is no way parents will see, like my own. I store the numbers of parents with the name of their kids. So if it is Adewumi, that is, I know it's the parent that is calling. So there's no way we will miss that call through the teacher, through the head of school, through the proprietor or proprietresses, that will not get back to you.
Okay, Mr. Tijani, thank you, sir. Dr. Odekunle, looking at the fact that we have the merits and the demerits of the ban of this phone, because looking at it inwardly, you see that some students, they actually make use of the internet to source for information, they try to learn ahead. So this ban of the use of phones by secondary school students, looking at the merits, is it not going to affect some aspect of learning, or what do you think?
Yeah, thank you. Let me use, there's a e-learning library in University of Oluyole. I think we were sending back that sponsor it then. I don't know, maybe it's still functioning now, beside the health LT. I make use of it once during my PhD. Everything has been censored. It is only educational activities that you can work on that system. It has been censored. So that reason why, as my dear brother has mentioned one or two things, we are in technological age.
Exactly. We should bear that in mind.
We want our students to compete shoulder to shoulder with others in the foreign world. School should have digital library, in such that by the break time or free period, students can go into that e-class or e-library to do whatever they want to explore that is within the convene of education or learning. Such will have been password or censor. It can't go to pornographic site. It can't go to what you can search is just educationally oriented. At the same time, just like what GoTV introduced, parental guidance or parental VG, even parents, whatever, like my daughter, she make use of her mom's phone most time to do assignments. At times, even when we are talking, maybe we are doing devotion and there is a kind of a big word, she collected the phone. Like this one, when we are leaving the house, we have policy. During school session, we don't subscribe. That's our policy. But because there's some there is a particular competition they are going for, that in that me, I say, until I get the result of this competition, the result of the competition will energize me to subscribe. So you get first. I know that the competition was so keen, it's beyond them, but you are involved, and she eventually came as third. So I was happy. Immediately they announced the result to me, I took out my phone and subscribed. But most of them, they are subscribed a week. We are resuming. I said, there's no a week. I'm subscribing a month. No, she was telling me that. She was telling them when we are leaving, know what you are going to watch. But immediately as I was driving, I was like, when I come back, let me go and put parental lock on this gadget. Children can be so funny. So for them to have access to IT, even if it is not available in the school, they can postpone it to their various houses. Use their parents' gadgets.
Sorry, Doctor, we need
explore.
to take the news for 11. When we are back, we'll still continue. Still the breakfast fiesta.
Ohun èlò tuntun kan ti wà fún sísè àwọn oúnjẹ aládùn. Ṣé lóòótọ́? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Tasty chicken flavour ni o, tí wọ́n ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn èròjà àbáláyé láti sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe ìdàjẹ́ pọ́nnu lá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Tasty chicken flavour á fàdùn ara máa ń da sóúnjẹ. Mo ti gba ti Tasty chicken flavour lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, má jáfara o, sáré lọ ra Tasty chicken flavour tiẹ̀ lónìí láti máa jẹ̀gbádùn oúnjẹ àjẹpọ́nnu lá. Tasty Cubes chicken flavour ó ń fún wa lóúnjẹ tó gbádùn. Tasty Cubes chicken flavour ó wà lọ́lọ́gọ́rùn-ún gíráàmù, ọlọ́gọ́rùn-ún mẹ́rin gíráàmù àti ọlọ́gọ́rùn-ún mẹ́fà gíráàmù. Ó tún wà níyẹ̀fun.
The news.
Good morning. The news on the hour. The Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Army Major General Gold Chibwisi, has warned that civilians caught wearing military uniforms illegally risk arrest and prosecution in line with Nigerian law. Speaking during a media chat, the illegal wearing of military uniforms at home and